Good afternoon, everyone. Introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Enable your video. Anish, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
And
sir.
yeah, Anish, when I see in my Zoom app now, your name is not visible. It says 2020-2021, right?
That day they gave message, sir, should not put names, sir.
Name they have not put.
Yes, sir.
Anish, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anish. Okay. Next one more is there. Who is that?
Anush, sir. Anush.
Your Anush.
ANUSH. Yes, sir.
Wait. Anush. Yeah, one more. Speak once.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Subiksha.
1 minute, I'll rename it. Subiksha.
Yes, sir.
Subiksha, last class you were not there. Why?
I was there, sir.
I didn't see you. Till the end, I didn't see you.
There was a network issue, sir. So I ended the.
Or not interested to listen.
No, nothing, sir. There was a network issue.
Fine. Yeah, one more. Who is this? One more is there. Who is that? Speak yourself. I spoke to Subiksha and Anush. Another 4 joined now. Who are they? Lipika. Lipika, speak once.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now one more is there. Who is that? 6/2020. Speak, introduce yourself once.
Sir.
Who is this?
Norbu.
Norbu, show me your face. You have a beautiful face, man. Why you are hiding that? Huh? Show me always. Okay? Yeah. Only 5 are there. Where is Prabhanjan? Norbu, you have a good hairstyle too.
Thank you, sir.
And till the end, I will be watching only you. Okay? No disabling the video. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And rest everybody don't enable the disable the video. I want to see each and everyone so that I can talk more. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Whenever I say unmute yourself, you can unmute and speak. Okay? Anybody else joining? Only 4 are there. Total, I think 8 should be there. Norbu, last class what we did? Recapitulation. Tell me now. Norbu, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Input and output.
Input, output. Then?
Yes, sir. Then how to print.
Print. Okay, then?
And
Okay,
then, sir, you gave
okay,
some
fine.
examples of your school days.
Yeah. Lab exam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Subiksha, speak to me. Enable yourself.
Yes, sir.
Subiksha, we finished the flow chart, right? Today we have to go to pseudocode. Page number 108. Hope so that everybody are having your page textbook with you. Anush,
Sir, I don't have textbook.
why?
I am not like near school.
Okay. Lipika, you have the textbook with you? Sorry?
Yes, sir. I have my textbook.
Okay, shall we start the class? Shall we start the class? Okay. 1 minute, I'll close the door. Don't disable your video. Yeah. So we were talking. Let me start the class. Be attentive, everybody. So we started the chapter problem solving methodology. In that we started with algorithm and followed by flowchart. Now let's move further. Development of program or computer solution. Okay. In this step, we develop the complete solution in the form of computer program. Now slowly we will enter into the programming section. Okay, slowly. Okay. Now coding or programming. What is coding or programming? It is a process of translating an algorithm or flowchart into syntax of a given programming language. You must convert each step algorithm into one statement in the programming language such as C and C++. So dear students, listen here. Till now we were writing algorithm, that is about stepwise thinking, and flowchart, it is about diagrammatic representation. Sorry. Okay, both are not syntax. Now you should understand what is syntax. Syntax is nothing but the program statements. See how we speak. We have language and we can understand the language. In the same way, when you write the program, you should understand how to write the program. Okay. So flowchart and algorithm, they are different. But how to convert that flowchart and algorithm into a syntax? So each syntax completing the program. So you must convert each step of algorithm and flowchart into a syntax. Okay, that will be told as a programming language. So here you are learning a programming language of C and C++. Okay, C++ is very easy. See, not to worry about the programming language at all, because it is computer science, not computer application. So the difference between computer science and computer application, can anybody tell? Norbo, can you tell me what is the difference between computer science and computer application?
In application, we have to learn the programs.
In computer science also you will learn the program.
No idea, Sachin.
No idea. Anybody else? Prabhanjan?
No, sir.
No idea. Subiksha? Lipika?
No idea, sir.
Okay, let me tell now. See, computer application is the one where you have to put your own thought and you have to write your program of your own. Whereas computer science, it is fixed. For this question, this is the program. For example, best example I would give is your textbook belongs to computer science. Okay, in the annual exam, the question will be asked only from the textbook. Okay, no change of question will be there. Okay, same question will be there on the question paper. Whereas in the computer application part, what happens? They will give you a new question which you don't know. Okay, by seeing that question, you have to put your application thinking and write the program. Whereas in computer science, whatever is been taught, the same program can be written exactly as it is. Whereas in application, you have to generate the program according to the question given by the exam. Got it? So the best example I would give is 10th standard ICSE syllabus and POC board syllabus. Okay, till now not even one question is repeated in programming part for ICSE 10th standard. Whereas if you see the second PUC or first PUC, what happens? When you see the annual exam question paper, most of the 99% of the questions are repeated same as it is. They have not twisted anything. They will not twist because it is just science. You have to learn, you have to execute and give you the result. Whereas in computer application, the questions will not repeat. The concepts are same. How to write the program, how to write the syntax, how to get the output. All are same for computer science and computer application. But the question will be new for application level subjects. Whereas in computer science, the questions will not be changed. Okay. Now, testing and debugging. So in a programming language, what we do is we will test the program. Means what? Compiling the program. So here you should understand what is compiling. So compiling is nothing but, see here, I will show you. Here I have one textbook. I have one textbook. 1 minute. Hello. Kodi. So, yeah. Yeah, can you hear me? Norbu, can you hear me? Yes. So we were talking about testing and debugging. Dear students, listen once. The thing is, I'm going little slower in this part because this is the foundation. This is a step to write the program. Okay. So if you understand the foundation properly, you can write the program easily. Okay. Without anybody's help, you can write the program. Now testing and debugging. Testing means running the program, executing all its instruction and checking the logic, entering the simple data to check the output. Means what? When you write the program, the compiler will check whether the program what you have written is correct or not. Is the syntax written in the program is according to the coding section or not? So you cannot write anything whatever you want in your mind. There is a way of writing. There are some words to be used for particular work. Okay. So when you write the program, testing means running the program. Debugging. Debugging means what? Anush, tell me, can you tell me what is debugging?
Don't know, sir.
Okay, anybody can answer what is debugging?
Correcting the errors, sir.
Yes. See, when you write a
Opposite of
program,
bugging.
yes, Norbu?
Opposite
Okay.
of bugging.
Opposite of bugging is debugging and bugging. Okay. Debugging is to solve the error.
Yes, sir.
Solve the error or correcting the mistakes or finding the mistakes. Okay. Or repairing the mistake or repairing the program. Okay. Whereas bugging, nothing, just program. Okay. Now bugging is a process of finding and correcting program code mistake that are, when you get the mistake, there are so many kinds of mistake, but in programming language, we will not call it as a mistake. What we will call? Subiksha, what we will call?
Errors.
Errors, exactly right. So nowhere we should use the word mistake. It is an error in the program. So to solve that error is the process of debugging. Okay. To know that what is the error, where are the errors, we will use the compiler. Compiler will check the program properly and it will tell in which line where you have done mistake or the errors are there, and you have to correct the error, then only it will be solved. Okay. No syntax error should be there at the bottom of the program. When you write complete program, when you compile that, the error will be gone. In C++, what happens? The compiler is different. Okay, the C++ compilers are different, whereas in Java, the compiler is different. I'll tell you now. Java, the compiler is BlueJ Java compiler, whereas in C++, we have so many kinds of compiler. Compiler is nothing but a platform where we write the program and when there we execute the program. Can anybody say some compiler name of C++? Anybody can try? Lipika? Any
Don't know,
compiler? Don't know? Okay. Norbo, you know any compiler in C++?
Sir,
Yeah,
I don't know, sir.
you don't know. Fine. So you all are fresh in this programming section, correct? Yes or no?
Yes,
Show me
sir.
a thumbs up. Everybody,
Yes, sir.
if you are fresh, you are new to this field, show me a thumbs up. Yeah, Subiksha? Yeah, fine. Not an issue. Here we are here to learn new things, okay? So C++ is a graphical user interface, okay? There are two things you should understand. One is character user interface and GUI, graphical user interface. What is this CUI and GUI? You should know this. CUI is nothing but character user interface where your mouse cannot be operated. Okay, only with the keyboard you have to move the cursor. Okay, and it will be in DOS command. DOS is nothing but disk operating system. So earlier, when we want to execute the program in C++, we were using CUI, not GUI. And the problem of CUI is you cannot use the mouse, you cannot do anything with the mouse, only with the keyboard and with the shortcuts you have to use. And the compiler, the programmer who is using the DOS command, CUI, it was very difficult to remember the commands. Okay, it is very difficult to remember the commands. So slowly the CUI is converted to GUI. Now GUI will do what? It will help your mouse cursor to move and you can select the option and run the application. Now there are few compilers. Okay, Turbo C++ compiler, Dev D++ compiler. Okay, in this Turbo C++ is almost similar to CUI, but what happens, Turbo C++ can give you access of mouse also. Okay, but the interface looks similar to CUI, whereas the advanced version is Dev D++, which I use normally. Dev D++, it is just an app. Okay, in that app you will type the program, you will run the program, check the error and compile the program. Okay, got it? Now there are different types of errors: syntax error, runtime error, logical error. Okay, so what is syntax error? Okay, the syntax error is very simple. For example, you write something and I will say, what is spelling of computer? COMPUTER. Okay, you miss one word there in the program. When you are typing the program, you miss one word. Okay, that time the compiler will tell you you have a syntax error, means grammatical mistake. What you do, that is syntax error. Runtime error, when you run the program, there you cannot solve that program, then that is runtime error. Logical error is different. Okay, A is greater than B. Okay, B is greater than C. That kind of two expressions or conditions, that is logical error. All things will go one by one. Now, role of the compiler. What is the role of the compiler? It is very, very important to know. The first task of the compiler is to analyze the program for correcting and detecting the error. The first work of the compiler is to analyze the program, what you have written, and in that program, what are the mistakes you have done. It should show you. It will not correct the errors. It might show you the line of the error. For example, you have written 10 lines of program and you write the program, you finish writing the syntax, and when you compile, it will tell you only you have an error in page line number 5. You have error in line number 10. You have error in line number 15. Like that, it will tell the line. So you have to go to that particular line and check what is that error. Okay. So this will be encountered when I compile, when I type the program, and when I explain the program and compile, it will be easy for you to understand. Hopefully the theory part, if I finish today, next class onwards, I will show you the Dev D++ compiler with the program. Okay. Now, during compilation, certain errors are detected by the compiler and indicated. These errors are grammatical errors in the program language known as syntax error. I told you. Let us not go here. Next one is semantic error. Page number 110. Semantic error. What is semantic error? Considering an arithmetic expression, y is equal to a plus b, that is indicating the value of variable a and b are added and assigned to a variable y. If you written a plus b is equal to y, then this kind of error is semantic error. So what you should do is, you should use a variable to store the value. Now here what happened, the example is simple. Y is equal to a plus b. So a we will assign one value and b we will assign one value. For example, 5 plus 5. Okay, 5 plus 5, the answer is 10. So the 10 is stored in that y variable. Okay, this is a proper way of writing. Whereas if you mix up A plus B is equal to Y. There is no place for storing the value. So when you do or when you commit this kind of mistake, this kind of error, then this is the error. What error? Semantic error. Okay. Normally we won't encounter much with semantic error, but we will encounter syntax error and runtime error most of the time. Debugging, I told you, it is just to remove the errors. Okay. Documentation and maintenance. So, Subiksha, can you read that paragraph?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read that paragraph.
Documentation is a reference material which explains the use and maintenance. Documentation is a reference material which explains the use and maintenance of the programs or application for which it has been written. It could be in the form of a separate printed document or as a help file in the program itself.
Yeah. Okay. There are two types of documentation. One is internal documentation and external documentation. So let us discuss now defining meaningful variable names. Now, when you assign a variable, you should not give Sachin Tendulkar is equal to A plus B. It will not be taken it as a variable. You should give a meaningful variable. Okay. Unnecessarily, mobile is equal to A plus B. Okay. I'm just showing mouse is equal to A plus B. It is not right. So you should write the meaningful variable name. Okay. A, B, C, D like that. Okay. Second one is including remarks or comments in the program section. Okay, there are two types of comments. Okay, can anybody tell? Norbu, can you tell me the two types of errors? Comments. Norbu, enable your video. Norbu, can you tell me?
Sir.
Can you tell me two types of comments in programming language? All forgot, Norbu? ICC gone in your head?
Sir, first time in computer class, sir, in this field.
This field. Okay, now listen here. The
Yes,
two
sir.
types of
Like
comments
10th, I
are.
was P, sir, not computer.
Okay, see here. Two types of comments are single line comment and multi-line comment. So what is the use of this single line comment and multi-line comment? Enable your video, Norbu. What is the meaning or use of single line comment and multi-line comment? So it is simple. See, compiler will understand the entire program what you have written in in that platform. For example, Dev D++ is the platform I am using. I refer you to use the same. It is easy to operate. Okay. So in that you'll write 10 lines of program. Okay. And somewhere you have to write something for your information, which compiler should not understand. For that, what happens? You should use 2 backslash. If you use 2 backslash and type whatever you want, okay, for example, backslash 2 backslash, and this line belongs to the editing part, this line belongs to the input part, this line belongs to the output part, something information you want to write for your use, then you should use 2 backslash. When you use this 2 backslash, then what happens? The compiler will not read that line. Keep it in mind. The compiler will not read that line. Okay. And the difference between single line comment and multi-line comment is simple. You use 2 backslash, you can write only one line that compiler should not understand. This is for my reference. Got it? Okay. Second thing is, if I want to write a complete paragraph, for example, in the platform itself, I'll write the question also. I'll write the question, then I'll start the program. But the question, the compiler should not read or not analyze. What I will do, I'll use backslash star. You go on writing. How many lines you want, you can go on writing. At the end, again, star backslash. If you enclose this and whatever you write in that, it is multi-line comment, and those lines your compiler will not understand. Got it? This is only for your reference. This multi-line comment we use only in the beginning of the program to write the question in the program platform only. Okay, so the symbols are, first you should use backslash, star, write a program to print the 15 natural numbers. Okay, then again star, backslash. This your compiler will not understand. Okay, these are the two types of comments. Next one, adding remarks on each module indicating its purpose. Any remarks you want to add, you can add in the single line comment. Presenting the program code clearly by inserting space, blank line and using indentation. Means what? When you write the program, it should be precise, it should be understandable, it should be neat. When you write the notes, you will leave the margin and then you start writing. After every answer, you leave one line at least. Norbo? Got it? Yeah, that is the presentation part. When you write in the exam also, you write so neatly, you'll put the lines wherever required, you'll underline the main points, you'll put the dash, and at the every question is completed, you'll leave one line and then you will start with a fresh line. This is the presentation of the exam pattern. Same like that only in program also, you should not write together everything. Wherever space is required, you should give the space. Wherever anything like inserting blank line. So after every block, I'll open the flower bracket, I'll type the program, again I'll close the flower bracket. To understand different types of blocks we are using in the program, you can leave lines. When you leave lines, the compiler will not trouble you. The compiler will understand that you have left a blank page, blank line. Got it? And indentation. Indentation is what? Left indentation, right indentation is there. So from where you'll start in the program, after that margin, from where you'll start. You want to leave some space in beginning, you want to leave some space in the end. Wherever you want to start, you can start. Indentation, there is two indentation, left indentation and right indentation. Okay, so these are the internal documents. External document is nothing but, see, external document, user manual. For example, what happens? This is a user manual of my practicals. This is for my reference. External document. Okay, I can open this. I can see the information of the program and I can close. External. Administrator manual, same like that only. Developers manual. All are external, where you can hold and you can see and you can refer. But main thing is internal document. Internal document, how to write the program, how to use the variable, how to start the program, how to use the comments, single line comments, multi-line comments, and then remarks. You want to give the remarks, you can give the remarks, or you want to leave a line, or for example, you are writing something. If it is too lengthy, break the line into two lines, give space. The way of writing the program stepwise is presentation. Got it? Hope this internal document and external document is clear with you. Lipika, did you understood internal document and external document?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any doubts in this? You can stop me anytime and you can ask question. Come on. Anybody have doubt in this internal and external document? No doubt? Norbu, you have any doubt?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please send me the photo of the textbook?
What?
Can you send the photo of the textbook afterwards so that I can?
Yeah, sure, definitely. That I will do it for you. Okay, no, not an issue.
In the group, sir.
Yeah, I will do that. I will send you the PDF file of this entire textbook only. Got it?
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And you can also browse. You are a tech person, man. Huh? You are asking me. Very bad. I will give you. I will provide whatever you ask. But see, when you go to PU website, go to computer science department. There you will find complete PDF of this textbook. Whatever you can see in the textbook, same thing is they have provided as a PDF. Anybody wants to take that,
Okay,
you
sir.
can take it, or else you want me to share, I will share it. Not an issue.
Yes, sir. Share it
I will share it. Okay.
in the group.
No,
Yes, sir. It'll
Norbu
be
should
easier.
not work hard. All smart works. No man. Yeah. Anush, any doubt on internal and external document?
No, sir.
Any doubt, no, Anush?
Sir. No, sir.
No. Fine. Okay. Shall I proceed for the next one? Subiksha, can I proceed for the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, program construct. See, construct in the sense, see, we know that construct means, Subiksha, you can unmute yourself, mute yourself, not an issue. Okay. Construct in the sense, constructing a building. Okay. Constructing means you are building the program. Okay, like that. See, program construct. So you're constructing the program. So when you're constructing the program, what are the types of construct you can do? I will explain. So I'll read this paragraph once. Every language has a syntax of its own. Syntax of a language is a set of rules by which various elements in that language are defined. In English language word, okay, nothing, simple, I'll tell you. Every language has syntax of its own. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. See here, if I want to print 100, 1 to 100, I can write the program in different way. Java is different and C++ is different. But when you compare, what happens? The way of writing Java programming is different. The way of writing C++ is different. But what? But the answer can be produced by both the programs. It means what? Simple. You go to a shop, you buy 1 kg of rice. Okay? You buy 1 kg of rice. And you can prepare biryani in that. You can prepare rice bath in that. You can prepare curd rice in that. Puliogre, white rice, ghee rice. Means what? You have rice. By using rice, you can do any kind of dishes. Same like that only here. You have program. Subiksha, enable yourself. You have program, but what happens? Any kind of programming language you can do and you can get the result same. Now, pseudocode is another notation of expressing an algorithm. Pseudocode, okay? It is a mixture of English and computer instruction. It uses English words or sentence and computer programming language words such as if, then, else, do, while, for, read, write, and etc. See, a pseudocode means what, you know? Special word, special keyword. Okay, and that special keyword will do a particular task. Okay, normally if I tell, if I would be, that is a normal general terminology of English when we speak. But when you use the same if in the program, that is a condition, one condition. Then is a second condition, like that. It all been used in the program. So this kind of special words are called as pseudocode. Got it? This will come in your exam for 1 mark. What is pseudocode? Okay, pseudocode is another notation for expressing an algorithm. It might be the combination of English and the programming language. Okay, each word what we use in that pseudocode, each word what we use in the pseudocode is having a special meaning. Okay, now programming construct is a statement of program. Okay, now let us go to programming construct. In this programming construct, you have 3 types of programming construct: sequential, selection, and iteration. Okay, if you learn these 3 concepts, your programming is finished. You are done with the programming subject itself. But these 3 topics are vast. Okay, sequential construct is different, selection construct is different, and iteration construct is also different. Okay, now what is sequential construct? Now there is a way, there is a flow chart. Okay, when you write a flow chart, you will write it in a stepwise order, or when you write algorithm, you will write it in a stepwise order. Now in a sequential construct, the program statements are executed one after another in sequence. There will be no backward or forward. So now here S1, S2, S3 and S4 are simple statement which could be any one of the following: input, assignment, output. Okay, now here S1, see here example, if you see input, okay, input A comma B comma C. B, assignment operator, A is equal to B or C is equal to 10 or I is equal to I plus 1. And output, see here, first input should come, then assignment operator should come, then output should come. Stepwise you have to move. That is the sequence of the program. That is the order of the program. Okay, you cannot start with the output, then assignment and then input. Okay, what happened? Yeah, got it? See, when you write the program, you have to write it in order. That is sequential construct. Stepwise, one after the other. One after the other. That is called sequential construct, one by one. See, sequential construct, nothing much to explain. It is just stepwise. You have to start with input only, then assignment should start, then output should start. That is common. You cannot start with the assignment, then output, then input. That makes haywire. Means what? The program will not execute, the compiler will not understand, and you will not get the relevant output. Got it? Any doubt on sequential construct? Anush, any doubt on sequential construct? It is just stepwise order. Okay? No doubt? Okay, let me go to the next one. Next one is a selection construct. This is a big topic. Selection construct is a big topic. Sequential construct is just order, one after the other. Okay, now it is also known as conditional construct. This structure or a statement helps the programmer to take appropriate decisions. Decisions or selection is normally expressed in condition. Now there are 5 types of selection construct. Okay, that is called as decision making construct. Okay, decision making statements. Now first one is if else, if, nested if, and multiple selection. Now I'll give one example now. If, okay, simple if. What is this if? I told you if is a keyword. Now selection construct has 5 types. They are if else, if, nested if, and construct. Okay, multiple selection. Now let us talk about the if first. This structure helps to decide execution of a particular statement based on the condition. This is also called as one-way branch. Now this is a normal syntax. Let us go to the condition. Now see the example. If you see the example, you will get a clear idea. If amount is greater than or equal to 5,000, then discount is equal to amount divided into 10%. 10 by 100 is 10%. So net minus amount is equal to amount minus discount. Here you are telling if this is more than greater than 5,000, then you will get 10% discount. Only one condition. I'm telling you, if will give you only one condition. If will give you only one condition, whether this is right or wrong. Whether it is right or wrong. If A is equal to 10. Okay, the 10 the value is stored in A. So there is no change, only one condition. Okay, that is about if. If else, see everything we have an example. One by one we will do the example and then understand with the program. Still we have not entered in the programming section. Okay, still we are learning how to write the program, what all things we can put it in the program. Okay, now I said if is one condition, correct? If else statement. What is if else? If you have one more condition, then we use it as if else. Okay, got it? When you have two conditions, you should use if else. If you have only one condition, you should use only if. Okay, now let us take an example. If, same example but continuation. If amount is greater than or equal to 5,000. If the amount is more than 5,000, you should get discount of 10%. If the amount is greater than, else discount is equal to 5%. Means what? If the amount is greater than 5,000, you will get 10%. Means what? You have one more condition. Means what? From 0 to 5,000, you will not get discount. You should get discount. For 0 to 4,999 rupees, you will get 5% discount. Above 5,000, you will get 10% discount. So here you have two conditions. Keep it in mind. You have two conditions. You have two conditions to satisfy whether the first condition is correct or second condition is correct. To check the first one is evaluating first or second one is evaluating first. Here the value what you enter, for example, I'll enter 6,000. Okay, first condition will accept or second condition will accept? Lipika, if I enter 6,000, first condition will accept or second condition will accept? I mean,
first one.
no, more than
Second one,
5,000. Yeah, first one, more than 5,000. Yeah, I told 6,000, right? Then first one, if will work. Okay, else, for example, I have the amount of 4,000, then else will work. Got it?
Yes,
If
sir.
your number what you're inputting in the output is 6,000, then if is working for you. If the value what you entered is less than 5,000, for example 2,000, then else is working for you. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Norbu, any doubts?
Sir?
Any doubts on this if and else?
Sir, actually I'm lagging.
What lagging?
My net is not good here.
Okay. Anush, any doubts on this?
Sir.
So if is used for only one condition, if else is used for more than one condition. I mean to say two condition. Now, what if you have more than two condition? What if you have more than two condition? So the next one is if else if. If else if will give you what? If this, yeah, else this. If else is also not, then again if. More than two condition, we will use if else if statement. Only two statements, two condition are there, we will use if else statement. Only one condition is there, then we will use if statement. Okay, now let us see the example of if else. If else is the best example of your marks. Okay, above 90 there is a category called distinction. Okay, above 60 first class, above 50 second class, above 35 second class, below 35 that is fail. So how does it do here? First one, if, see the example there, page number 116, that is the best example of if else if statement. We call it as if else if ladder also. Ladder, okay, means what? It is like steps. If the marks is greater than or equal to 85. Now at the beginning we have only one condition. Okay, if the marks is greater than 85, what should print? Distinction should print. Else means what? You have one more condition. Else what? If my marks is greater than or equal to 60. Okay, then output answer should be first class. But there is a difference. You should understand. 60 to 84 you will be awarded as first class. 85 to 100, it will be awarded as first distinction. Again, if I am not satisfied with this condition, else what? If my marks what I have obtained is greater than or equal to 50, then I should get second class. Second class will go what? From 50 to what is the number? Lipika, till where it will move? 50 to?
35.
No.
59.
Yes, good. 50 to 59, whatever the marks you obtain, that then you should get the syntax printed as second class. Again, I have one more condition. Okay, else if my marks is greater than 35, okay, here it is given as promoted, we'll make it as third class. If the marks what you obtain is greater than or equal to 35, then I should print third class. Okay. Now, as you go on giving the condition, n number of conditions you can give. Okay, but let us stop the condition. To stop the condition, else. Okay, else print failed. Means what? Else print failed. If you type, what happens from 0 to 34, whatever the marks you obtain, that will be considered as fail. Now, Prabhanjan, how many conditions are there in the program? Can you tell me?
Sir,
How many conditions are there in this program?
which if else, sir?
Yeah, in this example, how many conditions are there? Subiksha,
Sir.
can you answer? Yeah, anybody?
I joined now, sir.
You
My
joined
net was
now?
not.
Okay.
Net was not
Subiksha,
good, sir.
yeah, fine. Subiksha, can you tell me how many conditions are there in this if-else program?
5.
Yeah, exactly, correct. Very good. Okay. 5 conditions. The first condition was, Subiksha, the first condition was?
If.
The first condition was what? If.
If.
In that, what was the output we wanted?
Distinction.
Yeah, what was the condition we gave for that?
Above 85.
Yeah, marks what you obtain above 85, then distinction. Now, Anush, yeah, tell me about the second condition.
Else
Else,
mark is greater than 60.
greater than 60, what should it print?
First class.
Yeah. So we finished 2 conditions, right? Now, Norbo, third condition, explain me. Norbo, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me about the third condition. What is the third condition?
Sir, I don't have the textbook.
Oh, you don't have the textbook, but I am telling you orally, right? The third condition was, if my marks what I obtained is more than 50, then I should get second class. But from 50 to till what number? 59. 59. Else, if my marks are greater than 35, I should get third class. Else, fail. Else fail will tell you from 0 to 34, whatever the marks you obtain, it will be called as failed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next one is nested if. Nested if is nothing but in one if, one more if is used, then it is nested if. I think if I go on talking like this, you'll get confused. I'll stop here. Dear students, let's have a recapitulation of what we have done today and then end the class. Okay, today we started with the pseudocode coding program. In this coding program, testing and debugging was there. Testing and debugging, in that 3 types of errors: syntax error, runtime error, logical error. And we discussed about the compiler. What is the role of the compiler? And how does it work? Then semantic error. Okay, and documentation and maintenance, internal document and external document. Internal document and external document. Internal document, you should use appropriate variables and you should use the comments properly. I told you single line comment and double line comment. The next one was you can give the remarks in the program wherever gaps are required, wherever space are required for your program presentation, you can give the gaps and underlines everything. External document is nothing but the manual what you have in your hand. Okay, that is about external document. Next one was program construct. Okay, in this program construct pseudocode we discussed. In this pseudocode, what is pseudocode? A special word we use for a particular job. Okay, it has got a special meaning. That is called pseudocode. It might be a combination of English and program language. English and program language. So that is pseudocode. Okay. Then program construct was having 3 types. Okay. Anush, can you tell me the 3 types of program construct?
Sequential, selection, and iteration.
Okay, iteration. Okay, fine. So we have 3 types of construct, that is sequential construct, selection construct, and iteration construct. Sequential construct is nothing but the stepwise writing the program. Input, assignment, output. You cannot mix all together. First you have to start with input, then assignment, and then output. You cannot start with output, assignment, input, or assignment, input, output, or assignment, output, input. You cannot do that. You have to write, it is a program statement are executed one after the other. Stepwise you have to move the syntax, or stepwise you have to write the syntax. Okay, that was about that. And then second one was selection construct. Selection construct, Prabhajan, how many types of selection construct are there?
2, sir.
No.
If else.
Yeah, Lipika, can you tell me how many types of selection construct are there?
5.
Exactly 5. Can you name them?
If else, if, nested if, multiple selection.
Yeah. Yeah. Today we started with the selection construct and we discussed about if. Okay. If is a single condition or single expression.
Sir,
Yeah, Prabhanjan.
can you say once again, sir?
There are 5 types of selection construct. Okay. Selection construct, that is if else, if else if, nested if, and multiple selection. So in this we started with if. If will give you only one condition. If the amount is greater than or equal to 5,000, I should get 10% discount. I should get 10% discount. That is the condition. We will wind up there only. The program will end there only. The program will terminate there only, and it will give you the result. Whereas if else statement is more than one condition, or we can say 2 condition. If the amount is greater than 5,000, I should get 10%. Else means what? I have one more condition. What is that one more condition? The condition is, if I am not having money above 5,000, then what? Below 5,000, we should give one condition. Else, below 5,000, I will get 5% discount. Means what? From 0 to 4,999 rupees, I should get 5% discount, and above 5,000, whatever the money you have, that is you will get 10% discount. This is about if else statement. This was about two expression or 2 condition. Next one, what if you have more than 2 condition? Then you should use if else if ladder or if else if statement. So if my marks is greater than 85, so and so distinction. Else my marks is greater than 60, first class. Else my marks is greater than 50, second class. Else my marks is greater than 35, third class. else fail. Means what? You have 5 condition here. The 5 condition, and for all the 5 condition, I will use if, then else, if, then else. So it looks like in ladder. Okay. And I told in the documentation, I said indentation, right? See if you see in the textbook, if marks is greater than or equal to 85 is written in the first, then they gave one gap. That is, they took one tab and they started with one tab. Print distinction. Again, they brought the cursor to the beginning. Else. Again, they put tab. The cursor went front and again print. Again little front. Again else. See, this is what indentation. This is called indentation. Okay. To make you understand clearly, the presentation of the program is very, very important. Simply writing the program is not enough. The presentation is also very, very important. Okay. Then nested if, I stopped here because let us continue this in the next class. Okay. Hope so that you have understood the question. Hope so that you have understood the chapter today, concepts. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Another 2 minutes, we'll wind up. You have any doubts, please talk to me. You have any doubts? Yeah, tell me, anybody, you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Any doubts? Dear students, any doubts, you can text me also. Any doubts? Subiksha?
No, sir.
Subiksha?
No, sir, nothing.
Okay, hope so that the class was fruitful for you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay, then thank you so much for the patience audience. Okay, you were good, you were reacting well, and most of the time your video was visible to me. That is more important, because you disable and do your work, then it's like I'm talking to the wall. Okay, so when I see everybody, the class is more lively. Hope so that you have understood everything. In the coming class, we will discuss in detail, and once we finish the theory part, then we'll jump into the program section. The program section will be more interesting than the theory part. Correct? Prabhanjan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Program section is more interesting because you write the program, you will get the error, you will fight with the error, you will fight like anything. Okay, then you will solve the error, then you will get the output. That
To the lab, sir.
huh?
Lab, sir.
You will come to the lab.
Yes, sir.
We'll reach to that position. Okay, let's hope for corona to die quickly. If corona is out, then we all are in. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anush, Prabhanjan, Lipika, Subiksha, Norbo, especially Norbo. He is not sitting straight. Norbo. Yeah, he's always in his world. Anyhow, thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any doubts, you can text me in the group, as well as anytime you can ask me doubts. I will always be available for you. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Bye for now.
just reminder, please
Yeah,
send
tell
the PDF.
PDF. Sure,
Yes,
sure,
thank
my
you,
dear. Sure, I will send you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Take
Bye,
care.
sir.
Take care. Bye bye. See you in the next week.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Lipika.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Subiksha. Bye. I'm ending the session. Bye for now.